Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Original Storytellers Podcast. I'm your humble host, Steven Tallis, and today's a very special day. Today is episode 1 of this great podcast journey. And you're probably wondering what this podcast is about, and I'll tell you right now. Thanks for asking. So this podcast is about Native American entertainers. The original storytellers, the people telling their stories through all kinds of art and medium, from the artist, the sculptor, the movie maker, the YouTubers, the rappers of the world. I want to hear their story. I want to know how they got started, what made them tick, just what inspires them, if they like onions on the Navajo taco, and it's just not gonna be, it's not gonna be focused on just Navajo. It's gonna be all of Native America. And yeah, so if you have any questions, please like and subscribe. You could even comment some questions, ask people, just to just take you backstage and just sit down and talk with some of these amazing people. And today our first guest is a legend in the Native Nation, Navajo Nation world, and he's a comedian, actor, motivational speaker. His name is Ernest David Tsosie III. He's been in countless movie shows, bunch of movies, and he is a celebrity on the Navajo Nation. This guy can't walk through bashes without somebody taking a picture of him, and it's pretty crazy. So please, let's welcome our guest.
Right on, man.
Dude, man, it's been a crazy minute,
Yeah.
the whole coronavirus and stuff going on.
No kidding, man. The whole world just changed in a matter of a couple of days, for me.
Yeah. So how you holding up?
I'm doing good, man. My family and I we're dug in at Winter Rock. I've been referencing the movie Thunder High, right?
Yeah.
Red Deer Table, Stronghold.
Oh yeah. Bad. So yeah, is it pretty bad over there, Winter Rock? Is it everything locked down?
Yeah. Right. This weekend we're on a 57-hour lockdown. So no, even tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, you can't go anywhere till Monday. So we're down from 8 p.m. tonight till 5 a.m. Monday morning. So man, we'll be doing a lot of just videos.
Yeah.
I did like everyone else. I had to do my work from online. I was doing motivational speaking.
Oh yeah.
So I'm continuing that work, but I make these short PSA videos. And that's what I've been doing. So
yeah, I saw one of them. It's pretty good. Yeah, just
yeah.
It's pretty funny. So okay, what do you think's your theory of why everybody's just not staying home?
Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know, man. It's one of those enigmas. My family and I've been talking about what don't you get, man? I don't know if they're not watching the news, and seeing all the images and the urgency in people's voices, as far as doctors and the authorities, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see some videos, man, that really scared me, man. People that are sick, and I sure don't want to be one of those, I don't know. I think a lot of it is just I don't want to say ignorance, but just lack of knowledge, I guess.
Yeah.
They're not really. They're thinking it's a hoax, or some people even think that it's not real.
Yeah.
The virus,
Or it's up in the city. It's a city thing or something, or the virus or something.
Yeah. And at first, I was in the very beginning. I didn't even myself was like, "Oh man, it'll never get here," but here it is,
Man. Hey, so do you got toilet paper and everything? And
I say again.
Do you got toilet paper?
Oh, I got plenty of Navajo times.
Oh man, well yeah.
The good thing about that is my wife. She's one of the person who's always stocked up. Even before the virus, you always had extra of this and that. So
okay,
we're doing all right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. He was Jonathan Nez right now. It's on the quarantine or something like that.
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah. I haven't really been keeping up with the Navajo Nation news stuff on Facebook. Whatever they put up on Facebook.
Yeah. Man, well,
I've been watching the mainstream stuff.
yeah. Man, well, thanks
I
for
had to
being
cut
on this
I had to
podcast.
cut myself off too, though. I
Oh,
had
why
to
is
cut
that?
myself off and watch the news. I just got too depressing, man. And so I have a new motto. Okay, my new motto is focus on God, not the virus.
Oh,
So that's what I've
yeah.
been doing.
Yeah, no, for
And
sure.
yeah, because if you let yourself, man, you'll get depressed watching the news every day.
Yeah.
But I tune in, check it out, make sure there's no important messages I'm missing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stay busy, man.
Man.
That's the best advice I can give: is stay busy. Try to look through video like what you're doing now. This stuff here, we can get people to take it seriously. Like Tito Hoover, he's doing a montage video
Yeah.
of people telling people to stay inside. It's pretty serious. So I think stuff like that is really helpful. We're doing what we can do, and what little we can do, being native producers and directors like yourself. Getting the word out.
Yeah. No, like I was wanting to do this podcast, but like just because I probably was like curious, just how's everybody doing, and like especially like the native entertaining side, and just like
Yeah.
yeah, just so let's thanks for being on the podcast. Let's talk about that. So like, how's just work's been with with the virus, and like just with you being an entertainer and everything, and like it's just everything just went straight down and got canceled.
Straight down. Yep, straight down. Big old zero. But
Oh man.
the interesting thing is, for one thing, this virus, there's actually good side of it, if that's possible. But it brought us all together. For one thing, right? I think
Yeah.
we're all getting just too much into our technology, and we weren't talking to each other, even living in the same house. Even me, I have a teenage son, and a lot of times before this happened, he was buried into his video games and stuff. We're just kind of doing our own thing.
Yeah.
So this virus forced everyone to acknowledge each other. Even your own household. So that's kind of a good thing. And I've been really close to my family, my wife and my children. So that's kind of a good thing for us. But the work it gave me a new challenge. I did my first virtual comedy show this past Saturday on 4th. It was with Indigenous Ways out of Santa Fe,
Okay.
and it was cool, man. It was fun,
Yeah.
actually. I hooked up on like this, live, and
Yeah.
I just did my comedy from my house, and it was pretty good. I felt good to perform finally, after
Yeah.
I was like, but it was kind of weird because I didn't have any immediate laughter in the room, like comedians,
Oh.
we feed off of
Yeah.
the laughter in the club or in the show or whatever. This time I had to I had my own laugh soundtrack,
Yeah.
But it worked out pretty good, man. There was some glitches here and there, but I'm gonna do another one. We have another one coming up with Isaiah Yancey put together one called the Ungathering
Yeah.
Natives Comedy Festival. We're gonna do it on Instagram
Dude.
on this April 24th and 25th, right? So
Yeah,
Instagram, check that out. And Adrian Chalapa has been doing a virtual comedy show, so that's been cool.
Okay.
I haven't done that one yet, but I'm going to try it out.
Dude, that's
So that's
awesome.
kind of how the new way of doing comedy.
Yeah, so yeah, well that's pretty awesome what you guys are doing and stuff, and just entertaining everybody. I mean, that's really important, because I think everybody's like inside the house is kind of going like stir crazy. You want to do stuff, but like
Yes.
this is like crazy. Like this is like in history. Like we're literally the world's shut down. I want to go watch a movie right now, but I'm just
Yeah, I know,
locked in.
man. I've been jonesing for Starbucks.
Yeah.
And when we have to, like my wife and daughter would go get necessities, and sometimes they'll bring me back to a Starbucks, man, which I'm totally grateful for. But I haven't had one in I don't know, a few days now.
Save that
But
money.
yeah, but even that, like you want to go to a movie, I want to go to Starbucks. Right? That would be one of my hangouts is just go down there and read a book or just chill out, But can't do that now.
Man, This is
Yeah.
crazy times. But yeah, let's go way back into your early days. So like
Yeah.
so how did you ever like get started in the whole like the comedian actor side? Because you've been in quite a few movies and stuff. You're pretty much well known like in this areas and stuff. And so yeah, so what made you like want to become like an actor comedian?
It all started like long time ago, man. Back in the '90s, when I used to have an older cousin. Him and I used to hang out a lot. We kind of like uh, fantasize about making Powwow Highway 2. Right?
Yeah.
That's one of our favorite movies was Powwow Highway, man, because they had real actors in there. It was a real movie. So then, and one time, for the filming of Geronimo, right, with West Studi, they did a casting call, and the casters came through Window Rock, right, my hometown.
Yeah.
So me and my cousin went down there and we auditioned for Geronimo, and we're kind of just messing around. We just did it because it was an opportunity. But after that, though, I really started thinking about it, and I was I was an archaeologist, an anthropologist. That was kind of I thought that was going to be my job, my day job. So I went to school in Tucson, studied archaeology, and while I was there, I signed up for an acting class in college, and to see what it was like.
Yeah.
But man, it was a complete and utter failure. Man, I crashed and burned, because I had
Oh,
stage fright. I had
yeah.
stage fright, and I couldn't get through it, man. When you take a final exam or whatever, your exam is to act, and your fellow students are your audience. So I had to go up there and do a monologue, and I couldn't get through it, man. I failed. I couldn't do it. I was too nervous. Kept getting my lines and stuff like that. So I dropped that class. So it was a failure, my first attempt.
Oh.
And then for the next 3 years, man, I got a job. I was working, living, but it was always in the back of my head, man, that failure.
Yeah.
And plus, I wanted to get into the movies, and I wanted to be an actor. So it just ate at me, man, and to the point where I couldn't stand it. And I said, man, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try again, right? And this time I'm going all the way. And I enrolled back into college. This time my major was theater
Okay.
and acting, and I quit my job. Had a good job, steady job, and I went back to school, man. I went to Tucson Community College, and that's where I got my training.
How old were you when you like quit your like job, man? Like just went for it.
I was in my early 20s, right, like 22,
okay.
23.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
And so I just jumped all in, man. I said, you know what? If I want to do this, I got to force myself to get in front of the audience. Got to, overcome stage fright. And I started looking at it as a job. If I want this job, I got to get the training. The training is to act in front of people. So I had changed my thinking.
Okay.
So as part of my backstories, I became what I feared the most, which is public speaking and acting, performing. So I think that's funny how life kind of sometimes takes you into where you don't want to go.
Wait, so how did you get over your stage fright? The whole I know everybody has that stage fright. Like
yeah. Again, it's all appeal. I had to change my thinking. So I looked at it more as a job, and acting college is my training grounds. Like you go to carpentry, right? You got to take your different classes, sciences, whatever. You take your different classes. So in acting, one of the classes is acting. Then there's voice and movement, right? There's stage.
Oh, okay.
There's makeup. There's so it became a whole job to me, and that's how I kind of thought about it. And so my job today, my test is to get up and perform in front of an audience. So I started looking at it as a job, not something that was I was kind of like fantasizing about being an actor or whatever. And when I came at it from that angle, it didn't work. So I had to look at it as a job, basically.
Oh, okay.
And then that did it for me. So I was able to get in front of an audience, and I was able to do my work, my monologues, and it got easier. The more I did it, the easier it got to get on stage. And the more I got on stage, the smaller the stage fright got,
Okay.
Until I just got used to it, And comedy really made it even more stronger for me, because comedy is terrifying, man, for some people,
Yeah.
Me included, and that's how I got into comedy. It was a self challenge. to overcome that fear of trying stand up, you know. So
Do you still get scared?
that's how kind of, if it's a real big event, or if I'm doing a mainstream acting job or audition, man, that little voice, man, tries to come back at me, you know, and says, you know, you're not good enough, man. What are you doing, you know? You know, but I learned to keep it under control. You know, I don't let it overcome me like it used to.
So what techniques do you use to like keep that little self-doubt under control?
I just kind of tell myself, you know, hey man, I've done this before. I'm a professional. You know, I have to tell myself I'm a professional actor. You know, I've already done jobs. You know, so this is no big deal. You know, I kind of got to psych myself out, and I just put that little voice down, man. So no way, you know, I'm going there. I'm going to do this, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, it's always kind of there, but I just kind of, it's more like a mosquito now, right?
Okay. Just swat it away.
Yeah, but because if you let it, man, that will stop you. You know, that little voice will, because it almost derailed me, man. I went for one audition, and I totally just. The thing is, all auditions that you go in, and if they like you, they'll give you a call back.
Yeah.
And so I went in the second time. I did awesome the first time. Second time I went in, I read for the director. It was a TV show.
Oh man.
And I went in there and I was nervous, man, for some reason, because the big wig was in the room.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it, man. I totally bombed, man. I crashed and burned. And I left that audition, man. I was totally, what the heck, man? It destroyed my confidence, everything. And I quit pursuing acting for about a year. I couldn't do it, man. I was wounded, you know.
Yeah.
But I finally, you know, again had to. That was my big failure again, second time. I just had to dust myself off and get back out there, man. You know, and I'm glad I did, you know, because since then I've gotten to do, you know, like Neil Longmire and you know Better Call Saul and some of these mainstream projects, you know, which were really helpful for me as an actor, you know, to get to that level. But it's tough, man. It's a hard thing, man, for native actors.
The ones
that are out there, man. I'm really happy for them.
Yeah. So you have a family doing this too, as well. You know, like are they super supportive? Probably.
No, actually, it's just me, man. My wife was a jewelry maker. She makes a silversmith. And, I have an older kid. My daughter's she's a psychology major.
Oh man,
she's going getting her master's degree right now. I have a son he's a banker. You know.
Yeah.
So I try to tell my kids, whatever you do, don't go into show business. It's too stressful. It's too heartbreaking. You know.
I bet. So
if I can, I don't encourage my kids to go into acting or comedy. I get an education, man. That's where it's at, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm the only performer in my family, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So like, what was like what was your first movie? Like, I think it was Shanto's, right?
Shoney?
Shoney's. I'm sorry, Shoney's.
Yeah. Actually, that was one of the first ones as far as the native scene goes.
Yeah.
I did a short film when I was with James and Ernie. Me and James went in and did a cameo role in a Larry Lowe film called The Fifth World. It was a short film. That went to Sundance, you know, so it was cool. You know, we got to go out to Sundance and check it out. So that was kind of the first thing I did. And then Malpost 398.
Yeah.
You know, Sean Del Rosa and Andy Del Rosa put that out there. And that became like a little REZ underground cult hit, you know. Yeah. It's all over, man. You know, everywhere we go, people are mention those characters, you know, and talk about that and where's Chloe and I get all that Party Marty and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, those are some like really good performances, especially like you guys weren't necessarily playing like the funny guys, you know. You guys were actually like
it was a drama. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the kind of. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm an actor before a comedian, right?
Yeah.
So I like dramatic stuff, man. You know, like that, and that role that I did, you know, it was right along those lines, you know. So I really had fun doing that, you know, that project. Yeah. So, and then you know, just kind of did a lot of Hamilton films.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
He put out Turquoise Rose. You know, was one
yeah,
of my first ones there too. And those are pretty cool, man, because it taught me how to be comfortable in front of the camera. You know, as an actor.
yeah.
So it's like a training ground for me.
Okay.
Like the poster behind me. That's
Yeah.
Blue
Blue
Gap
Gap
Boys.
Boys.
You know?
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Um,
Just
yeah, and so those little films like that, people kind of sometimes they'll look at short films or independent films and they're really taking that seriously. But for me, man, it made me who I am as an actor. You know, made me a better actor, and I really appreciate those filmmakers that are putting out stuff like that. You know, and in some ways, those independent films are more important than those blockbuster $1 billion movies. You know,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
yeah.
I feel like
They're more interesting. Yeah,
yeah, I feel like
that's
those
kind
like
of how I felt.
independent films are like those native ones, especially like I feel they appeal more to home. You know, those
Yeah,
yeah, those big blockbusters felt like your amusement rides and just or amusement parks. Or, I
yeah.
mean, they're cool though too. I like them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, man. I love going to seeing the big movies too,
yeah,
but like a lot of it now is all you're acting in front of a green screen, man. It's not like traditional acting like
yeah,
back in the day when you had to really pour out your, use your instrument
yeah,
and those really good movies, from the old days,
yeah,
a lot of CGI,
yeah,
computerized stuff, and I watched the behind the scenes. They're not even acting with each other; they're acting to some kind of mark,
yeah.
you know.
Hey, so
And I've done that kind of work too.
what you
It's hard,
did?
man. Yeah, it is. It's pretty hard to act when there's nothing there.
Man, that's crazy. So, what do you think is harder? Like, what do you like doing better, like drama or comedy? Which is harder? Like,
um, man, that's a good question. They both. I like them both, right? Um,
yeah,
the drama. Man, I'll tell you one time I did there's a comic book called Scalp. Have you heard of this?
yeah.
Scalp. Okay. They did a pilot of
Okay,
that. They're trying to make it into a series. It
yeah,
was awesome, man. And they had anyway, I got cast in the pilot, and it was a really dramatic scene, and it was a green screen shot, and there was a lot of there was like violence and whatnot. And anyway, I had to be filled with fear. It was tough, man. And the thing is, there was like a herd of horses running at me, right? They're about
yeah,
to stampede me, and I get pulled out all the way at the last second.
yeah.
But in the scene, there was no horses. There was just a green screen. I had to imagine a herd of horses coming at me and
Man.
being totally like I'm gonna die. It was hard, man. And the director's like, more fear, and I was like, no, I got it. I'm not scared, okay. But it taught me a good lesson that that fear is hard to play, man. People, you can start crying in the movie, whatever. That's easy, man.
Yeah,
But you can watch a horror movie or something, and you see the fear in people's eyes. But
yeah.
man, as an actor, that's tough to do that.
Oh, man, so like
The fear,
like what do you do to like I don't know keep your skills sharp? As as an actor,
Um, I do a lot of well again doing the short stuff, the short films, and
Yeah,
even these little small sketches that we do on TV on YouTube, whatever. Those keep me sharp, because they keep me in front of the camera. They keep me creating, my mind working. How can I shoot the scene? How can I make it better? Maybe I get an idea as for the character. I'll try that. So doing these small projects that keeps me my instrument tuned, as they say, right? And then also I read. Right now I'm reading a book. This is my latest book. It's called it's Kathleen Turner on acting.
okay.
So I get insights on the pros, what's their game like, and sometimes I'll go on YouTube and watch behind the scenes stuff, interviews
Oh,
with
okay.
Leonardo DiCaprio, whoever I'm interested in, and
Yeah,
just kind of get their what makes them tick, and then the people have their own, technique, So I have a technique. I don't really know what it is, but it comes when I'm on the set, and that the director says action, and I just do my thing, So,
so
I kind of just borrow too from different things, but mostly I got my foundation though in college.
Yeah.
My acting teacher was a guy named Barkay Goldsmith. He taught me, really the nuances of acting. Stage acting is where I started. That's the thing. Stage is different from screen. So when I wanted to start auditioning for movies, I was a stage actor. So I'd be really big, when you're on theater, when you're on stage, everything is big, and your movements are big, your voice is big. So I had to learn how to really tone it down. And a lot of auditions, they'll be like, "Okay, that's good. Can you bring it down?" So it took me years, man, to learn how to audition for films and TV. It's just like talking, just regular talking. It's not trying to reach the back row like in a theater.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot to learn once you between theater acting, comedy, and drama. This, then the medium of television, for big screen, small screen. It's that kind of stuff. Just takes time and experience. Just getting out there and learning from your failures.
Yeah.
Or because there's times now when I didn't feel good about my work and like, dang it, wish I could do that over. But
Yeah.
But that's part of it.
So what kind of what actors like do you look up to, like just like in general?
I like man, that's a hard question because there's so many, but some that stand out. I like Denzel Washington. Always have even his theater. If you watch his theater, like live on stage, Broadway and whatnot, he's awesome, man. But I like Gary Oldman, who's always been a favorite from back in the day. Like one of my favorite characters from Gary Oldman is Drexel in True Romance, man. Quentin Tarantino wrote that script, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen True Romance, but it's a pretty crazy movie. But if you watch Drexel, man, he's a pimp, But that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite bad guy roles.
Yeah.
And then I like man, there's so many. I don't know, man. I used to like Seymour Hoffman, before he passed away.
Okay.
Because he was kind of an ordinary guy, but he was a pretty extraordinary actor, man. He wasn't like good looking or wasn't like a movie star, man. But he was a solid actor. So there's different people I kind of check out your technique, and but now currently, I don't know, man. There's so many. It's hard to pinpoint any one person, So native wise, man, I like Graham Greene, who's been a favorite.
Graham Greene,
Gary Farmer,
Oh yeah, the legends.
Yeah, because those are the guys I started with. When I got interested in acting, those were the guys that were making movies,
So have you? So what's the most famous guy like you met, like or saw from a distance?
I'll tell you this one story, man. I wasn't an actor, but I pulled into a hotel in Mesa, right? With my family, and I wanted to go check in. So I got in there. It was the Best Western, and I got up to the counter, and there was a guy standing there. So I pulled up next to him, right? Yeah. He was checking out, so I was kind of waiting around, and just strangers. We kind of made eye contact, right? Yeah. I just kind of nodded at him, like, how's it going? It was a silent thing, right? And he looked at me and kind of did the same thing. Yeah. And in that moment, I noticed this white guy had real penetrating blue eyes, right? Yeah. Dang, that guy's eyes are real deep blue, right? I remember him saying to the ladies back to the hotel people, right? Hey, I feel like I'm done here. And they're oh yeah, you're good, you go. You go, right? Thank you, and he walked off. And then so I was next, right? So yeah. I was waiting for the ladies to say, okay, how can I help you, right? But they're whispering to each other, right? They're kind of smiling. They're all giddy, right? I mean, what's up? She was that kind of stuff. That was the lead singer for Pearl Jam. Yeah. Was it any better? Dude. It was any better, man. I looked at him in the eyes, man. He nodded at me. I nodded at him. And I was like, are you serious? And they showed us. He signed some swag for them, right? Yeah. Some posters. And I think I ran out there to go try to shake his hand. Yeah. And by the time I got up there, he was driving off, man. Oh. Man. Got close, man, to a superstar.
Almost, man, almost. So,
in my interview, so that was one of my stories. A near miss.
So I noticed, like you got a bunch of fans coming to you, like wherever you go, like is it kind of like the paparazzi sometimes, like you go like bashes and like Everybody's like, can I get a picture with you?
It's like REZ paparazzi.
Yeah.
Just one camera. just one flash.
So like
Yeah,
oh, go ahead.
It happens every now and then, but just kind of locally,
Yeah.
If I'm in Phoenix or somewhere out there, no one knows who I am.
Oh yeah.
But if I'm at Walmart and Gallup, man, I gotta wear shades.
So do you actually go to Walmart and Gallup the first of the month, or you just avoid it?
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, I go to third of the month.
Third of the month.
All the diehards are out of there. I don't mind that. People, want a picture or whatever if I'm, out and about with my family having dinner or whatever. It's cool. I don't mind. It's part of the game, I guess you could say. I don't consider myself a celebrity, but I understand that I'm on these. A lot of people see me from YouTube and doing comedy or whatever. Some people see me on the TV shows that I did, and that's all fine and good. But I think the real thing is just being a person. I'm just like them. I'm not rich and famous. People think I'm a millionaire, man. So I live in native housing, man. I have an NHA housing.
Yeah.
I gotta pay my dues every month too. But I don't mind if someone wants to get a picture or whatever.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah. So like with the whole like native business thing, like sometimes does it get like overwhelming sometimes, or just like when you sit down with your family and.
No, not for me, man.
Okay.
I'm pretty down to earth anyway. So
yeah.
To me, I'm like, what do you want a picture with me for? Let me get a picture with you.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of some of these other people, So, I know what it feels like to be a fan of somebody. I have my own favorites.
Yeah.
But so it's neither here nor there for me. I don't dwell on it. I don't get hurt if someone doesn't know who I am,
Oh yeah.
That's happened. That's happened before, People like someone will be like, "Hey man, do you know who this guy is?" And the guy's like, "Nope, never." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's okay. I'm no good."
So hey, what's the difference between like a big Hollywood set and like just like maybe like an independent film set? Is like there's a huge differences in like how's that?
I think the biggest difference is just it's pretty much the same in essence, right?
Yeah.
They got the same elements, You got your camera, your crew, your everyone who's working the thing. I think the difference is just the amount of people, like some of these, like when I was doing Barry Costall and Longmire, man, they had a bunch of people running around, man. They're you hear me now?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay.
It just went dead. I was like, oh man.
hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
The question was the difference between
the Hollywood set and like little set. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the amount of people. Like I pull up with Longmire's wasn't really a big show, but to me, man, I pull up there and there's like 3 or 4 movie trucks, and all this equipment, and there's a bunch of people roaming around. I'm just like, dang, what the heck, man? Then you do an independent movie. There's only one ride. It's your bro, and you're an actor, and you're also the boom mic guy. You're also the cameraman.
So do you get crafty services stuff like all you can eat, kind of?
Yeah, on the big sets, yeah. They have all that stuff, and I used to think that was pretty cool, but. And the little sets, they say you want a burrito.
So, like, what's some memorable experiences you had on a big set, or?
Well, I guess when I did Longmire, right, I got to meet some of my favorite actors. Like Lou Diamond Phillips was one I met, and I've been a big fan of his. And to see him, in person, just walking around, roaming around. And in between, there's a lot of downtime when you're on the set. So one time, he was just kind of hanging outside, and I went out there and I was, just rolled up to him and I said, "Hey man, how you doing?" He goes, "I'm doing good, man." He's real nice, and there were some horses standing there. They had some horses nearby, right? And I was like, "What's up with those horses?" And I forgot what he said to me, but he said some joke, right? And he slapped me on the shoulder and he just laughed real loud at his own joke. right? And he walked off, and like, oh yeah, Lou Diamond Phillips just clapped me on the back, man, and laughed at his own joke, just surreal moments like that, or this one guy, A. Martinez, also was there, and I did a take, the scene I did, and A. Martinez, he was in Power Highway, yeah, and he actually acted with John Wayne in a movie called The Cowboys back in the day. So he's been around, but he comes up to me in between takes, right? He goes, man, he goes, solid, man, solid, right? Talking about my acting.
Yeah.
It's good job, man. It's good, And I freaked out, man. Holy shit.
Dude.
And it really boosted my confidence, So those are some pretty cool things that happened to me. When I did Better Call Saul, Jonathan Banks, I know him from Beverly Hills Cop. He was the bad guy.
Yeah.
And the scene I did with him, I was nervous in that one because this was like big time. I was like, dang, hope I can pull this off. But as soon as I got into they take you to the set, right? You're not parked right there. You got the set like maybe 5 blocks away, or whatever. So I'm in a trailer, just kind of hanging out, waiting. And so when it's time, they come to get you, and they got me. They take you to in a van or whatever, right? So I get in the back behind the passenger seat, and then we're waiting for Jonathan, So I knew Jonathan Banks was going to hop in with us, right? Then right to the set. So I was like, dang. Sure enough, man, he gets in the front seat, and he just turns back to me. I'm sitting right behind him, right? And he's like, and he taps my knee, right? He goes, hey, how's it going? He kind of just a little nudge of encouragement, right? And he goes, how you doing? I said, oh man, doing great, doing good, man, thank you. But he was cool, man. It really settled my nerves, though.
Yeah.
And that's what good actors do, man. They make you feel good. They're not jerks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like that. He was real gracious. And the whole time we're there, man, he was real nice to me. And when we shot our scene together, man, he was just so gracious. He's really uplifting. And all my nervousness just melted away, man.
Oh,
and that's what good actors, that can do for a younger actor.
Yeah.
It's just make him feel comfortable. So
man, that's awesome.
That's kind of what I'd like to. That's what I try to do with other comedians, that are trying to get out there.
Yeah.
So are on a set acting, ask me for acting or whatever. Or even this, want to do KTD interview? Yeah, I'll do it, man. No problem.
Dude.
If I can get a good word out there, and yeah.
So, have you ever thought about like getting behind the camera? Maybe like doing your own shows, or?
Yeah, man. I think I'm at that point now in my career where I'm interested now in telling stories and making my own stuff. And I teamed up with a bro of mine, John Riggs.
Yeah.
And him and I have been working on some scripts. We're going to make our own movies. In fact, we were working on one right when this coronavirus hit, and we had to put everything on the shelf, man.
Oh, man.
But we're working on one called Two for the Road, so kind of a road story.
Okay. I think I saw the
so
trailer.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
Huh?
Yeah, did you guys
release
the trailer? Awesome, man. So he's doing like what is it about? Or could you talk about it? Or is it kind of like...
It's about two guys who kind of are going through some struggles in life. One guy's older, one guy's younger. And they kind of both come to a breaking point where they just decide to hit the road, and try to figure it out, And they're both on a journey, an inner journey as well as a physical journey, kind of like Thelma and Louise,
Oh, yeah,
type of thing, where they're on the road and things happen to them, and by the end of their journey, man, they're changed, their character arc, as they say, they're different men, for the better. So it's it should be a pretty cool story,
So it's like more of a drama.
Take people on.
So it's a drama rather than
more of a drama. There's some comedy elements, but more of a drama. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, man, dude. Before we end, so I'm gonna ask these questions to more podcasters, but so your top 3 movies, man.
Oh man, I've been thinking about that. That was it's a tough one, man. But one of my favorite movies is again drama, right? Yeah. I like Legends of the Fall.
Oh,
right, with Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies, man. The setting, the cinematography, the acting is just awesome. Next, I like Kevin Costner movie called Revenge.
I haven't seen that one.
It has it's a good movie, man. It's like a love story, he goes to Mexico. He had a mobster, kind of like a cartel guy friend.
Oh, okay.
He takes his wife, he ends up with his wife, and it's just a good drama and good acting too in that one. And then I like Power Highway, man.
Power
That's my
Highway.
favorite. That one inspired me to actually get into acting myself.
Oh man,
this is where I saw real Indians in a big movie. And I like Junktown's Finest, of course, the more local stuff, independent stuff.
Yeah.
Blue Gap Boys,
Blue Gap Boys.
Vincent Craig, I got to act with Vincent Craig. That was his last movie that he did.
Oh man, he's so good.
James
Man.
Billigody,
That Alien song.
Turquoise
too.
Rose
is
one of my favorites. Yeah. So just some of these locals, Mapos 398, of course, is always a good one. But there's so many movies out there that I love, and some I haven't even seen yet, and I'm looking forward to checking them out.
So
it's an ongoing thing.
Yeah. What projects do you have coming up? Or like just like movies or
there's I have about 2, maybe 3 scripts, right, from other folks that I've been rereading, and there's 3 in particular, man, that are going to be awesome, man. If they can just get done, get made. And I'm reading one script now, and it's a pretty interesting story, I can't really give too much on that, but another one that's been trying to be made is called Road to Forgiveness. A friend of mine out of Los Angeles, producer and writer, is taking on that space on a book, true story. And so that one, if these can get done, man, that'd be awesome, And there was one called the period piece, right, Western, called Six Nabistai, man. That was there. You can see it. I think there's a trailer on it.
Oh yeah.
But that one is awesome, man. It's like I always want to do a Western, right? So this is kind of my Western movie. But if that one could get made, that would be cool, man. Yeah. So they're gonna get made eventually, But so But those are kind of the 3 things, right? As far as acting goes, I'm kind of looking forward to.
Okay, so
and I've been auditioning, man. So yeah.
Okay, man, dude. So what's one thing you would tell an inspiring person who wants to get in the entertainment industry what to do, and like what to tell them how to break into the entertainment world?
I don't. Well, over the years when I first started, right, man, I went to every native actor that I came across, asked them for advice. Some of them gave it pretty generously. Some of them didn't. Some of them just blew me off.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a way there's really a breaking into the movies. I think that's kind of a fantasy.
Yeah.
I think the only way truly, man, is to get some formal training, go to study theater, acting, right?
Yeah.
And just get out there, man, start auditioning. You got to get an agent if you want to get into the movies. You got to have a legitimate agent, I mean, there's some people, of course, that luck out and they get discovered, right? But ultimately, for those of us who are just trying to get into the game, man, it's almost impossible, especially for natives, man. We're like that. We're like less than 1%, man, of the entertainment industry in acting, right? So it's those. That's what I'm saying. Like those natives that are actually making movies in HBO and like West Studi, man, those are very few that are making a true living out of it. Then there's actors like myself that are barely doing anything. I don't get paid. I mean, I get paid, but it's not like I don't get like hundreds of thousands of dollars. I would love to. And if you can land a regular on a series, you make some decent money.
Yeah.
But a lot of us are not rich on acting. We do it because we love performing.
Yeah.
So if you really love performing and you want that to be a part of your life, then I think it's worth it, man. But if you're just trying to get rich and famous, then you get ready for the life of disappointment. Because it's tough, man. Yeah, but if you truly love performing arts, go for it, man. You know what I mean? Because it's fun. I mean, it's awesome. I met some of my best friends in doing plays and being on set. People I met in plays back in the '90s. They're still friends today. Still keep in touch. I have a bro, Greg Zaragoza, out of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He was in New York City. He was on Broadway and did all these awesome things. We still keep in touch to this day. Man. So there's the family of, when it comes to performing arts, the family unit is awesome. That's my favorite thing, is meeting people and becoming lifelong friends. that's kind of one of the reasons why I like it, you know. And I think it's worth it if you can find that type of. Don't worry about the money and fame, you know. That's if you get into that, that's just part of it, you know. But I don't think that's a reason to get into it.
Yeah.
It's for money and fame. I think you got to have something more deeper, man, to go into that line of work. As far as acting and comedy, it's got to be part of you, man. It's got to be your. Yeah, you have to do it. You need it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm barely figuring that out now. That it's something that you need to do, man. You know, it's part of you.
Yeah. So what's
but again, don't put it all on the burner, man. You know what I mean? Have a back door, man. Get an education if you can. You know, I would go that route first.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So what's one thing you would say to your younger self starting out, like when you first started, and what would you say to that Ernie, Ernest?
Man, man, I would have said just get your education, man. You know, I'm serious, man. I wish I would have continued with my degree in anthropology, you know, and you know, or even like I was a carpenter, right? I got certified in carpentry.
Yeah.
I should have kept on going and went into construction engineering or something, you know, because if it doesn't work out, man, you know, it's gonna be a tough life. So I wish I would have gotten a backup plan. But where I'm going now, man, I'm gonna be doing comedy until I'm like 80 years old. You know what I mean? I'll probably, you know, it's gonna be I don't know, man. Let's like look out and get discovered after over 20 years in the business or whatever. And that's possible, who knows? But right now, I'm having fun, man. It's I enjoy doing it. You know, I'm not getting rich off of it. I enjoy telling stories and enjoy performing.
Yeah, I
mean, you know, but ultimately, man, my real thing is I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. You know, I believe in the Word of God, and that's my ultimate goal right there. After this life, you know, so acting and comedy that takes second place, man, to my Lord, Jesus, you know, and that's kind of that's just my personal beliefs, you know. You know, and ever since this virus hit, I really becoming bold and saying that now, you know. Usually I don't want to get into religion or politics, you know.
Yeah.
But now I want people to know that I'm a follower of Jesus, man, and you know, I'm a believer in His Word, and that's what's been getting me through this time of coronavirus in my family, and that's the most important thing to me.
Okay.
But again, you're here on Earth. What you're doing is cool, it's fun too, man. With the stuff you're doing, making movies, you know, and doing comedy, I enjoy that stuff. But it's not the number one for me.
Okay.
But I appreciate it though. I don't want to take it lightly either because it is my way of living. You know, it's how I make it. That's how I support my family, doing comedy and presentations. So it is important.
Yeah. Oh.
And so be it. If I make it to the big time, then I'll take that too.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what inspires you, but you kind of like you said already. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Just you know who inspires me, man, is the younger performers coming up behind me: Isaiah Yazzie, Tito Hoover, you know, Adrian Chalapa, you know, Tatanka Means. All these people, man, started comedy through James and I sharing the stage, you know, sharing our stage, and now they're doing it, they're making it, and that inspires me, you know. So when I see younger comics and younger generation like you making movies, man, that inspires me, man. You know, it's cool to see that people are picking that craft up, and there's gonna be another generation of movie makers and actors and performers. So a lot of my inspiration comes from the younger generation, and that's where I'm at. I like to stay humble, you know. Man, I'm not the master of comedy or whatever, you know. I'm still learning, man, from people behind me and people in front of me. You know, Charlie Hill was a really big inspiration for me, you know, and Jula Kappa, of course, and Vincent Craig. I still look up to those people. Yeah.
Man.
So I try to keep myself in a humble position, you know.
Yeah.
As much as possible, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you being on this podcast, man. You're like the first episode, first guest, and so number one, man. Just thank you for all your words and just doing your thing, man. And just hopefully just people get to know the the more deeper side of you, you know.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
that's the more interesting side of me, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, behind James
Yeah,
Ernie.
that's
Okay,
right.
man. Well, hey,
All right,
thanks,
man.
man. But thank you once again, man. And
Yes, thank you.
I'll put this up here soon. Yeah, hit
Okay,
you up. All
nice.
right, man. Thanks, Ernie.
All right, man. Later.
Latest.